Hey there, Tiger Shark here again with Okano. Oh boy, here I go reviewing another horror game again. Picked this one at random at the last minute because I procrastinated and worked on other projects all week. So in order to meet my deadline, this is what we get. This week I played a horror game called Simulacrum Part 1. I haven't finished it yet, it turned out to be far longer than I expected. But I feel I've played enough to write a fair review. My first thought is that this doesn't even feel like an indie game. The voice acting was phenomenal, the graphics are pretty good, everything functions really well. I never actually played the Silent Hill games, but this game gives me serious Silent Hill vibes and classic Resident Evil, which I have played. It even features fixed camera angles and tank controls. I do wish I could turn slightly faster, but it is what it is and it works. You can play with just a mouse if you want, or a controller, but I opted for a combo of the keyboard and mouse. There was a disclaimer at the beginning that told me to take notes since there are difficult puzzles. And as a warning, if you try the game yourself, this is nearly essential unless you have a really good memory. I just took pictures with my phone instead of writing notes. You have two difficulty options when you start a new game, which govern how hard the puzzles are and if you'll get hints. I chose the hard option, and I was not disappointed with the puzzles. The few that I did complete in my hour and a half with the game were really well designed and incredibly challenging. I would argue even better than any Resident Evil puzzles I've ever solved. I will admit, I did look up someone else's video on this game to solve the seed puzzle, because I thought I needed 4 seeds instead of 3 and I was killing myself looking around thinking I missed it somewhere. But I loved the valve puzzle, it was really well done. Just frustrating enough that I was losing my mind for a few minutes, but just fair enough that I was able to solve it on my own. The sense of accomplishment after that one was definitely worth it. There are some features that they built into the game that I absolutely love, 2 in particular that I want to highlight. Instead of having items or interactable objects in the world light up or something like that, the main character Abigail will turn her head to look at anything you can interact with. It's a subtle feature, but it really helps with immersion, and it makes her feel a little more real. Not meaning to drag Resident Evil and their sparkling items, of course, I love those games. Well, some of them anyway. I'm not looking forward to the remakes of 5 and 6 unless they make some big changes. Anyway, the second feature is the way Abigail takes notes on her map as she explores. Crossing off inaccessible doors, making note of important objects and rooms, and one particular note where she just labeled a room with yucky black gunk. This is a feature more games should have. It makes exploration 1,000 times easier, and it realistically is something I would probably do in Abigail's position. I'll talk about the sound real quick. The music was really good, well written and fitting for every moment. The sound effects are done really well. I already said the voice actress did a great job. I honestly wish she would just talk to herself outside of cutscenes instead of doing the Resident Evil thing where text just appears on the screen when you look at things. I guess you could say it's her inner thoughts, but I just like when there's more effort involved in voice acting. Can't tell you how disappointed I am every single time I play an MMO and the voices and cutscenes are fantastic. And then you get into gameplay and the NPCs just say something like, "Pleased to see you again," along with 100 lines of unvoiced dialogue. This review really is just turning into me ranting about other games. Before I conclude, I'll just mention a couple other things I took note of. The intro scene had a Bible quote, Ephesians 6:12. There were a lot of biblical references scattered around interspersed in insane cult texts. Abigail made a couple references, like when you click on her wardrobe she says, "No lion in here," referencing the Chronicles of Narnia. A nice bit of foreshadowing in the beginning when Abigail looks at a painting and wishes she could travel between worlds. The first words when Abigail wakes up are, "Where did I come from? Where did I go?" Of course, my brain completed that.
So, where did I come from? Where do I go?
It definitely felt like it started the game off on a goofy note, though it got serious real fast. There were all kinds of subtle details like finding a pair of handcuffs on a child's desk later in the game. I probably missed a lot, but that's the kind of environmental storytelling that I love. It doesn't draw attention to itself, but it's there for you to notice and for you to question. Anyway, I will try to finish the game on my own time. I stopped just after the monster chase sequence because I got scared, and also, I needed to get this review done on time. The link will be in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. And hey, I literally never say this, but if you've made it this far, maybe drop a like and subscribe. Or a dislike. I'd rather you didn't, but I won't tell you what to do. The button is there for you to use if that's how you feel about it. Anyway, that's all for this one, and as always, I hope you have a spectacular day.